Yo guys, what's up? This is Extreme from Jam Squad, and I'm going to be showing you guys something a little different. Now, I've been showing you guys, I'll show you guys both my card fight decks, my Spike Brothers and my Avengers, and hopefully I'll be getting a duel between those two decks soon, or at least between one of those decks, against like in a tournament or something like that. I'm going to be showing you now Yu-Gi-Oh decks. I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, so, yeah. Right now, I'm going to be showing you the deck that I'm most famous for. The deck that a lot of people consider me that person for that deck. And this is I like using this against meta because I feel it's very effective towards the meta as of now. And it's my Ghostrick deck. Now this is my Banish mill deck, and I really like this build. And a lot of people don't like going against it because it's such a passive aggressive build, and it beats the meta so badly. So yeah, let's get down to it. I run, obviously, for the battle traps, hand traps. I run 3 Jack Frost, 3 Lantern, 3 Spectre, and 1 Mary. The Jack Frost these are all special summon cards. The Jack Frost is whenever my opponent declares a direct attack. Special summon this in face down, and then the monster that declared an attack is put face down. Lantern is whenever my opponent declares a direct attack or an attack on a Ghostrick monster I control. Special summon this in face down position and negate the attack. Spectre is whenever a Ghostrick monster I control is destroyed by battle or by card effects. Special summon this in face down and then draw 1 card. So this is potentially a +1. And then Mary is whenever I get dealt battle damage, I can discard this card and special summon a Ghostrick monster. So, yeah, this is kind of like the stall part of the deck. Really necessary in any Ghostrick deck because this deck is very passive aggressive. It's not for attacking. It's mainly for stalling out the game, and then it's also about banishing, and that's why I consider it really useful against the meta nowadays because a lot of decks don't do good. No decks do good well against the banishing that I do. So, yeah. For the other monsters, I run 3 Skeleton. This is actually my win condition card. Most of the time, I never attack with the deck, and I win by deck out. This card's effective whenever it's flipped face up. Banish the top card of my opponent's deck face down equal to the number of face-ups Ghostrick monsters I control on the field. And I can only use the effective Ghostrick Skeleton once per turn, or else he'd be really broken. So, but even so, once per turn, I can potentially once per turn I can banish the top 5 cards of my opponent's deck face down in defense position, in face down, banish it. So any deck that swarms, searches, and mainly a deck known as Ritual Beast, which special summon from Banish Zone, they can't use their effects because they're banished, and Ritual Beast will be able to use their effects because they're banished face down, so it really doesn't help them. And so decks that already thin themselves out, this card just really helps it with it. So yeah, this card's a really good card and the main card of my deck. I run 3 Doll. Doll is what's used for basically pulling off what's known as the lock. I do the lock and banish. So basically Doll's effect was during the end phase that this card is flip face up. Flip all monsters on the field face down, and then special summon a Ghostrick monster whose level is equal to or less than the number of monsters you flip face down. So if I flipped 4 face down, I can search for a level 4 or lower, and so on and so forth. Most of the time I end up going for at the end of its special summon effect, I usually end up going for Skeleton because once they're all face down, I can use spells and traps to make it to where I literally lock my opponent's deck out, like not Ritual Beast, Pendulum Summoning. Whenever they go for their full field level 5 and they hit Doll, everything goes face down, and then I use cards to my advantage so that they stay face down. And you'll see those cards in a little bit. But yeah, Doll is a really necessary card for this specific build. Then I run 3 Jianshi. Jianshi is what I use to search for my battle traps. Whenever Jianshis flip face up, search my deck for a Ghostrick monster whose level is equal to or less than the number of Ghostrick monsters I control in the field. So even when it comes to just whenever he's attacked, he flips up, and then I'd search for Spectre, and then he would get sent to the graveyard, and then Spectre's effect will activate, thus special summoning it in face down, and I get to draw a card. So really, I just basically they're attacking a face down potential monster to try to deal me damage for the next turn. And I basically just put another one face down, and I drew. So I basically, you can say I kind of +1 or even sometimes +2 with this specific card. Also, it can be used. Sorry, that's a train that's going through my but near my house. And sometimes I can even search for skeleton or doll with this, just so I can continue my plays off and stuff like that. So yeah, those are my monsters. Now for my spells, I run 2 Mansion. Mansion is another part of the kind of the stall build of this deck. Mansion's effect is monsters cannot attack face down defense position monsters, but your opponent monsters can attack directly if all the monsters on the opponent's on the other side of the field are flipped face down, and then all battle damage from non-Ghostrick type monsters. Battle or effect damage from non-Ghostrick type monsters is halved. So it's really good because like even cards like 3,000 beat sticks will only be dealing 1,500, so that really slows down the game, and it allows me to set up so that I can start going for good plays, and then locking them out completely. So yeah, this is a really good card to run. I only run 2 of because sometimes if you run 3, sometimes it ends up being my downfall because I have all 5 of the monsters that I want face down. So my opponent can then just attack me directly with big stick monsters because sometimes I end up having too little life points to go for it. So running 2 is a good idea, and only use it when you when you feel like it's needed to stall out the game. Now, my main spell, Swords of Concealing Light. This deck abuses this old card so well. When Swords of Concealing Light is when it resolves, flip all of my opponent's monsters face down. Then those monsters stay face down for 2 of my next standby phases. So that gives me the opportunity to lock them for 2. So if they go for like pendulums, I can just activate this and then they all go face down. And then like with Mansion, I can attack them directly if I feel like I need to. But a lot of times I don't. A lot of times it just gives me enough time to go for my doll and then go for my skeleton and then keep going to get all 5 monsters out on the field so I can continuously banish cards off their field, out of their deck. So yeah, 2 MSTs for back row hate and to get rid of Pendulum. 1 Book of Moon, to just do things with Book of Moon, and then 1 Dark Hole because I don't own a Raigeki yet. For traps, I run 2 Ghostrick Scare. Ghostrick Scare is really good because it's also used as a stall part of the deck. Basically, when I activate this, flip as many cards as any number of face down defense position monsters I control face up and face up defense, and then up to the amount that I flip face up that are Ghostrick, I can flip my face up opponent's monsters face down. So literally when they attack and I have 3 monsters and they have 3 monsters and I have 3 monsters face down and they attack with 3 monsters face up, I can literally just activate this, flip my 3 monsters face down there, flip the face down monsters face up, and flip the face up monsters face down, thus negating the attack, and then I'll also get the effects of the face up. So like if I flip 3 face up and I had a skeleton, I'll banish the top 3 face down of their deck, and then they won't be able to attack. So yeah, and then I can search a Giant and stuff like that. So it's a really good card to run. 2 Ghostrick Knight. This is also another card that's used for locking. As long as I control a face-up Ghostrick monster, my opponent cannot flip summon. So if I go for Doll, and then I never use Doll again, because Doll does flip as many face down, so it doesn't work well with this card if you don't use it right. And then I activate this, and basically, they can't flip summon any cards that I initially flip face down with Ghostrick, Ghostrick, either Ghostrick Scare, Ghostrick Doll, or Swords of Concealing Light. So yeah, this is a really good card to run. And also when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, my opponent can't attack for the rest of that turn. So sometimes I like just putting it face down, and they're like, oh, it's a battle trap. And they're like, destroy it. And I'm like, nope, it's not a battle trap, but you can't attack for the rest of the turn. So it's like it doubles as a threatening roar. So yeah. 2 Ghostrick Banish. This is basically to keep my monsters in play on the field and all my Ghostrick cards. Basically, when I activate it, I reveal 1 Ghostrick monster from my hand, and then for that turn, Ghostrick cards and face down defense efficient monsters cannot be destroyed, targeted, or destroyed by card effects. So yeah, it's really good. Like if they like bottomless, I don't think it works with solemn, but if they bottomless, or if they like mirror force, or you know, just if I ever attack, or if they ever want to do something like dark hole or Raigeki or whatever, like even if they black rose, I can just chain this and then it could keep my monsters alive. 3 mirror forces, just in case. Like I only really ever use these early game, just to, you know, thin them out, you know, get rid of big monsters that they might have early game, and then, you know, stuff like that. I don't run any other battle traps, but these are the ones I would like to run. And then the triple threat: compulse, solemn, bottomless. Pulse obviously because it's like the best trap in the game. Solemn to deal with pendulum, and bottomless to deal with pendulum. Basically just pendulum. Because this deck does happen to have a bad matchup against Cleaforts if they get out Cleafort's towers, or Pocketfort towers, excuse me. So I like to keep those in hand. For the extra deck, I don't really ever, I do use the extra deck a lot, but I only ever use a few cards. But I will show you what I have so far. It's a very it's a very weak looking extra deck, but it's actually very effective. My main one is Ghostrick Dualahan 3. Basically, once per turn during either player's turn, I can detach 1 Xyz material from this card and half one monster on the field's attack. So when they attack me, and like say if I had Ghostrick Mansion out and they attack, they can only attack this because it'd be the only one face up. I would half it, and then it also gains 200 for every single Ghostrick monster on the field. So it's automatically 12,000 or 1,200, and then like all Ghostrick Xyz except for Angel of Mischief have the effect of whenever they're sent to the graveyard, add 1 Ghostrick card from your deck, from your graveyard to your hand. So like say if it gets destroyed, I would add Spectre to my hand and then just special summon Spectre face down and draw a card. So yeah, good card. 1 Alucard. I can't afford another Alucard, but 1 Alucard's good. Basically it just pops set cards. And then 1 Angel of Mischief. Basically, whenever I lose like Xyz for any Ghostrick monster, I can just special summon this on top of any Ghostrick Xyz. So yeah, it like say if I use all of Dualahans, I can just slap this on top, and then this searches for Ghostrick spells and traps. So yeah, it's good for like if I need to go for something like Scare or Mansion or whatever. 1 Mains, just because it's Zen Mains. 1 Terabyte for no reason. 1 Roots. Roots is actually very helpful if I'm ever going for, whenever my opponent has Xyz, it's actually really helpful. And then 2 Gachi Gachi. I never go for Gachi Gachi, but it's just a really pretty card, so yeah. So, everyone, that's my deck profile of my Ghostrick deck. Comment if you have any suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe to Jam Squad, and you'll see more videos coming soon. Also, I want to see if anyone prefers, I know my other map might seem a little bit inappropriate to some people, so leave a comment if you'd rather me use my Hatsune Miku mat over my dogs barking while I'm recording. Yeah, if no one has a complaint over my other one, because I really do like my other one, then I'll just keep using that, and I probably will end up switching off between them, because I do also like my Hatsune Miku mat. So yeah, look forward to more videos on Jam Squad, and yeah, see you guys later.